For a lot of my adult life, I played the masculine game, as I like to call it. And what I mean by that is I was living from the masculine energy, and damn did I do it well. And the problem with that was I eventually burned myself out. I didn't find satisfaction or success there. And I really didn't feel like I was living a purposeful life. Luckily, I had a spiritual 2x4 knock me over the head and send me on a long journey of growth and transformation. And one of the most powerful things that I have learned were the gifts of the feminine. And transitioning into a life of the feminine has brought me so much more softness and ease in my body, more balance in my relationship. I feel like my business and my work in the world is a true and honest expression of who I am, and I want that for you too. I'm Michelle Baker. I'm an art therapist. I own Embodied Art Studio, and I help women get what they want in life by reclaiming the feminine in a way that is creative and expressive and just right for them. Here are the signs and symptoms that you might be playing the masculine game. Number one, you are following a linear path towards success or happiness, and you're not finding it. For me, this was, in high school, working really hard, getting straight A's to prove my worth. Then, of course, I went to college, worked really hard, got straight A's. After college, I got 3 jobs because I was wanting to prove my value and show how great I was. I was in a relationship that wasn't healthy for me, but I thought that the next step on the linear path was to get married. We'd been together long enough. Why wouldn't I do the next step? The problem with this step-by-step model is it's not asking how we feel. It's not asking us to respond to what is going on and what wants to happen in life. That is the feminine way of navigating. The masculine way is more linear. The steps really work a lot better for the masculine energy. But for the feminine energy, it can really be depleting to just do the things because you're supposed to. You can kind of feel on the inside that it's like stealing a little bit of your soul to not be the one creating your life. Number 2, you don't really value your creative or your reflective time. I just did a workshop on conquering creative blocks, and all the ladies in the room were naming for me that they feel guilty to sit and make art for 2 hours. They feel like they're supposed to always be providing for other people, doing things for the housework, doing things that are quote unquote valuable, and that creative time of making art, or maybe it's journaling or taking a bath, feels luxurious and not valuable. But when you're a feminine bodied creature, you actually need more receptive time to fill yourself up, to get inspired, to touch into the big picture and feel connected to life. That's actually how we can navigate and respond to what wants to happen and create our life, is because we've taken the time to sit back and receive. Number 3, you might be playing the masculine game if you are constantly doing and providing for everyone else in your life to the depletion of yourself. I'm honestly not sure I know any woman that hasn't done this at some point in her life. I certainly did. I think I even had this internal comparison of making sure that I always felt like I had given more than my partner did. So that way, when I did actually need to ask for something, I felt like it was okay because I always made sure to stay in the 55-60% giving realm. This is definitely a symptom of the masculine game. Masculine energy is the providing energy, the giving energy, the doing energy. And I know that this is confusing because women are the nurturers, right? We're the nurturers. And I want to say, yes, we are nurturers. And there's a difference between nurturing and giving and providing. Let's talk about the difference real quick between nurturing and providing. if we keep it so simple, back in the caveman days, man was the hunter, woman was the gatherer and the nurturer. The man would provide by bringing back food and sustenance for the family. It required him to go out and do and hunt, right? And bring back. The simplest image that I have for nurturing is to breastfeed a baby. You might think it's the same, right? Mom is giving nourishment to the child the way that the dad goes out and hunts and brings back food, but it's different because breastfeeding doesn't require a lot of doing. Your body naturally produces the milk and your child sucks it out and receives it. And your job is to be present. And actually, for breast milk to really be at optimal production, you need to have a lot of nourishment. You need to drink enough water. You need to get enough food. You need to get enough rest. So it's inherent in the way our body works that we can almost effortlessly be nurturers. But in order to do that, we have to receive and take good care of ourselves. So I find that in my adult life, not breastfeeding anymore, that nurturing for me it's like an overflow of my love. When I feel filled up and happy and in flow and good in my body, I just naturally want to be nice to people and take care of them. My nurturing is easy and effortless when I am taken care of. A fourth sign that you might be playing the masculine game is that you show up in your work, in your relationships, and give your head, but not your heart. And what I mean by that is really wanting to be valued for your thoughts and for your brain and neglecting the gifts that you have that come from your heart, like being really relational and connective creatures. One of the ladies I work with works in an engineering field. It's highly masculine and it's highly brain oriented, and she can hang with the best of them, right? She's very smart and she can do the engineering work, but she found that she was more passionate about the relationships, about the team building, about hiring and finding the right places for people. So for her, stepping out of the masculine game and into the feminine game, which is her authentic expression of herself, was to step more into the role of connector and relationship building. And that transition was amazing to watch because she softened, she got happier, she got more aligned with who she was. And that's the beauty of stepping out of the masculine game. It's just not a fun game to play. We can totally play it, we can hang with the best of them, but it doesn't feel good in your body. Symptom number 5 of playing the masculine game is that you're no good at receiving. Maybe you're not good at receiving compliments and actually taking them in. You're probably not good at sitting back and letting somebody else do the work. Maybe at home your husband is cleaning up and so you inherently feel guilty and that you need to also clean instead of allowing it to be a downtime moment for you. When you do have some space in your schedule, are you able to really enjoy it and make the most out of it? Or do you tend to squish it and fill it up with busy things because that somehow feels more valuable to you? Feminine energy is about receiving. And in order to receive, we have to be in a relaxed state. So if you're no good at relaxing, then you're no good at receiving. And I'm pretty sure that applies to most of the ladies that I know, including myself. I was definitely guilty of every single one of those. I didn't know how to receive compliments. I didn't know how to relax. I definitely didn't know how to let other people do work or be busy around me without jumping in and contributing and feeling like I'd done my fair share. I was raised with the mindset that sitting around, relaxing was lazy. Symptom number 6, if you are feeling burned out right now, if you're tired all the time and feel like you're not going to be able to continue up with the way that you're doing things, that is a symptom of living in the masculine. You're not actually supposed to be tired all the time. You're not supposed to smush your sleeping so that you can get more things done. It's not your job to find the amazingly perfect balance of coffee and yoga and sleep so that you can perform all of the doing things that you have on your list every day. And I know that it feels that way, but that is not the truth of living from the feminine. So even though you might feel attached to doing a lot of things and you do like how good it feels to get a lot done and achieve things, let me just ask you this. What would it feel like to have other people doing more for you and having more time to do things that felt nourishing to you and helped you feel filled up inside? I just did a workshop last night and I asked the ladies, what percentage do you think you walk around normally filled up? If you've got a battery and 100% is fully filled, and they all named between 60 and 70%, maybe 75 was the highest. We do not give ourselves the time to really feel filled up. All right, and number 7, sign that you might be living in the masculine energy too much. You don't know what you really want. You don't feel like you're living your life on purpose. That's actually a sign of living in the masculine. Because remember, the feminine is about being in sync with what wants to happen and in tune with the rhythms of life. And when you are flowing down the river of life, you know what lights you up and you know what's going to happen next, and you're connected to your heart and your desire, and you're alive with the fun of it all in the ride. But when we're playing the masculine game, we're tired, we're going through the linear steps, we're burnt out, we're always at 50%, and we believe that we just need to do more and find that, just right schedule balance so that we can perform better. The reason that I feel so passionate about this is because we can consciously change the way that we're living and what we value and feel so much better in your body, actually have better balance within your relationships, have more love to give, more presence, and feel like you're living on purpose and connected to what your heart wants. I want that for you because it's amazing and you deserve it. Thank you for being here. I would love to hear which one of these was the juiciest for you. So leave a comment for me about your biggest takeaway from these 7 symptoms of living in the masculine. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the alerts, because I post something every single Thursday and I want to spend more time with you. If you're looking for a place to really talk more and process this, come to my Facebook group, Reclaiming the Feminine. There are lots of ladies in there and we are navigating this path of bringing the feminine into our lives together.